Hey, everybody, like I promised, this is our second lunch chat. I'm not playing on this Friday. Fridays are where we make it happen around here with public speaking and business. I am Dr. Samantha DeLoache, your model and pharmacist and professional speaker coach. And your girl has launched her Model Speakers Academy and the webinar, which will be unveiling all of the good deeds and all of the great things you can get in this academy, will be happening next Wednesday. Okay, so you need to sign up right now on my page. The webinar is free, it's an hour long, but you're going to learn about the model systems for success when it comes to your speaking. And you may be asking, what is the model? And I'm going to tell you, it's for motivating, organizing, delivering, engaging, and leading. So that's what you're going to learn. So get ready. But what we're talking about today has been having great entrepreneurs coming on, sharing how public speaking has helped their businesses, how communication in general has been beneficial. So, we're going to keep it coming. And so if you missed any episodes, I'm going to need you to go back on my page and look at everything. But right now, I have the distinct pleasure of having one of my coaches on here right now with me, Dr. Sade Y. Adu. She is going to tell you about what she has going on, about her business, her brand, and then we're going to get into this conversation. So welcome, Dr. Sade.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, yes. So tell people about you. What's your brand? What do you have going on? What makes Dr. Sade Why I Do smile in the morning?
What makes me smile in the morning? That's a really good question. I will say that the fact that I woke up in the morning makes me smile in the morning because everybody can't say that.
That's right.
Um, every day that we have an opportunity to get up is an opportunity for us to make our lives even better. So that makes me happy. Like I get a second chance to get this right. So
All
my
right.
name is Dr. Sade, like she said, Dr. Samantha said, and I am a digital brand strategist. I work with women entrepreneurs to help them build their brands because I believe you should teach what you know and get paid well for it. And I'm a coach, I'm a speaker, I'm an author, and we just help people get their purpose out there in the world. More people need to know that you exist. More people need to know that you have phenomenal programs, products, and services. And part of my job is to help you do that. Get your ideas out there in the world.
Well, I love it. And that's what you're doing because that's what you're helping me do.
Get
Because like I said, the
ideas
Model
out in the
Speakers
world.
Academy, Dr. Sade What I Do has been helping me, has been coaching me so that I can present this illustrious program to you. So she's the real deal. She's not just talking the talk, but she's walking the walk. And I
Definitely being
actually
about it.
That's right. I actually enjoyed a live event she had in Charlotte this past summer, this past June, and it was called "Girl, Your Brand's a Big Deal." Because guess what? Your brand is a big deal, and like she said, more people need to know about you. So I just love her originality, her authenticity, and how she started from the bottom, but now she's here. She built her brand, and she's proud of it, and she owns it. She walks it. She eats it, sleeps it, dreams it, makes it happen. And so I'm just happy to be a part of her wonderful Masterminds Academy. So, yes, yes, that's a little spill. But let's get into the good stuff. Why do you believe public speaking is a crucial skill for business professionals today?
If you want to sell more of your programs, products, services, ideas as a leader, you need to be public speaking. Uh, Having the gift of gab and the gift of communication is absolutely powerful. It is an opportunity for you to spread messages and get information out there to the world. So you have the written text. You should be masterful. You can be masterful at the written text. And then you have the verbal and spoken text. This is where you get an opportunity to shine. Maybe you're not the writer, but you're the speaker and you have a gift, you have a message. And with the Speakers Academy, you have an opportunity to get your message out there in the world. There's so many people that have a gift. There's so many people who have great things to say. And it's super important that we hone and tap into this skill of public speaking so more people know that we exist.
Yes, I love it. And like you said, the gift of gab. I used to get in trouble for talking growing
Hmm.
up, in school, but I'm glad I didn't let that stop me because you're right. We all have a story to tell. We all have a message, but not many know how to package it. And that's how people get to know about you. That's how you build your credibility. So, yes, if you don't talk, if you don't speak, how are people going to know that you exist? They
How
won't.
they gonna know? Exactly. How are they gonna know that you exist? You gotta share your message with the world, especially if there's a gifting and calling on your life.
Yes.
People need to know that you exist.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. So, my second question is, can you share a personal experience where effective public speaking significantly impacted your career or business?
Great question. So I've been speaking since forever, since my mama said probably like 8 months or something like that, years old. I've been speaking at it before I was even one. But public speaking, I started out doing that in church, and then my largest crowd or audience is about 5,000 people, and that was when I was in the 8th grade.
Wow.
I received an award, and I had to do a speech at graduation. So I've always been speaking throughout my life in some way, shape, or form. But there have been times where I lost my voice and I didn't want to speak and I didn't want to share. So my phone's ringing. I'm gonna cancel that. There's times that I didn't want to speak and I didn't want to share, and there were just so many people who wanted to hear my voice, and I had to realize
Mhm.
that that was important. And when I found my voice again, there was an opportunity for me to speak at different places. Like one place, my 'cause you talked about my conference, my very first conference, I realized I needed to do something like that. And one
Mhm.
of those opportunities allowed me, because I was speaking, this person saw me, they came to my event and they came all the way from South Africa. And this
Wow.
woman literally found my event on Eventbrite. And she said, I want to come to the United States. She needed to do some work in America and she was looking for an event. And she had two choices. There was an event that caught her attention in Las Vegas, and
Okay.
my event at the time was in New Jersey. And for some reason, something about me, something about the marketing and our message made her come to New Jersey. And
Wow.
about maybe 6 or 7 months later, it's probably less than 6 months later, she invited me to speak in South Africa. So that was a direct thing of me putting out my message, putting out my voice, hosting an event, sharing my message, inspired someone to hire me to speak in South Africa. And I will tell you, I was hired to speak for 30 minutes. They ran out of time. They flew me across the country 15 hours, across the world for 15 hours to speak for 15 minutes. And it was paid and everything was paid for. So you just never know who's watching your message. And this is just not a message that's US based. This is an international message. There are people from around the world that are looking exactly for you. And once you decide to be bold and powerful and be in front of the stage, put the mic in your hand, magical things will begin to happen in your life.
Wow. Well, two things you said stood out in that message just now, so I loved it. But I like how you said you started out in church because that's how I started, speaking in church, doing the announcements, reading scriptures, and then I actually spoke at my high school graduation. So I think that might have been my largest crowd at the time. I did one of the main speeches. I was a part of my top 25 graduating class, and I got to give a speech, in front of all the graduating class. It was about 500 of us graduating and the parents and friends and relatives. So it was probably about 3,000 people that I spoke to at my graduation in high school. So speaking has always been a part of my life as well. And then also, I love how you said you doing your event, you talking, you had somebody from South Africa who saw you, and that encouraged them to fly to New Jersey to see you, and then ended up less than 6 months later inviting you back to speak there, and it was all expense paid. So, like you said, you don't know who could be listening to your voice and the power it can have and what opportunities could come from you just taking that chance to speak, to not be afraid, to be confident, to share your message. And I love that you said, hey, it can be international because a lot of times
Mhm.
we think so locally. We think of, in our neighborhoods, people who are on my Facebook friends list are, people who I know in my state. But yes, the power, the gifting, what we have can literally impact people across the world and we have no idea. So that was a beautiful testimony.
I love it.
Yes. So my third question is, what are some common public speaking challenges that business professionals face, and how do you think they can overcome them?
So feeling nervous being on stage, like that stage fright when you initially about to get on the stage. So what you got to do is break the ice. You got to
Hmm.
say, some people say, I'm nervous. You don't even have to tell people you're nervous. Do something that makes you feel comfortable. Saying hello longer, making a joke, something that's going to get those jitters out of the way. So it's like
Hmm.
starting the thing.
Hmm.
Um, some people it could be like their stage presence, remembering the speech is a challenge, and keeping people engaged and interactive. Making sure people stay alive while you're speaking is going to be important, awake and alive. So you want to make sure that you're practicing and preparing. I will be honest. I am one of those people who wing it, right? I'm a winger, but
Uh-oh.
it's not the best thing to do. Don't do what I do. Do what I say do. Prepare and practice. Be
I love
intentional. It takes me too long sometimes. Like, what do I want to say to people? What
it.
is the goal? What's the mission and the vision of what I want to get out in the world? And sometimes I have to sit with it.
Mhm,
But I will tell you, there are some underarching things that I know that I'm going to talk about. So it's important to prepare those things in advance.
mhm,
This is a presentation. When I'm on stage, it's like a show. I'm like an actress and I have
yeah,
a job to accomplish while I'm on stage. So I want to make sure that I'm giving it my absolute best. So be prepared, practice,
right.
do things that make you feel comfortable so that when you get out on that stage, you can be your highest level self.
I love it. That was great. I love how you said just break the ice. Do
Mhm.
stuff to kind of calm your nerves. Like you said, you don't have to tell the audience you're nervous, but break the ice. Try to have a little fun, say hello longer, like you mentioned. And then everybody can wing it. And like you said, if you're not good at winging it, don't do that. Practice,
Prepare,
prepare.
prepare, prepare.
Yeah, because I find a lot of times we're nervous because we're not prepared. And so that's why we're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm gonna do, I don't know what I'm gonna say. But if you prepared, then even though you're a little nervous, that nervous energy can turn to excitement because hey, I'm ready. I'm a little nervous, but I know my stuff, I know my message, I know what I'm gonna deliver, and then you execute. So I love that. That was great. So my last question is, what is one essential tip you would give someone looking to improve their public speaking skills?
Practice, practice, and practice. So, working with a coach and mentor like Dr. Samantha DeLoache is going to help you do that. You need to be practicing. So, identify what you want to talk about. Maybe I tell people I have a class that I do, and it's like we tell them just create a 3 minute story or 3 minute speech. In your 3 minute story, your 3 minute speech, you want to practice it daily, leading
Mhm.
up to when you're going to be delivering this live. Because one of the things, the challenges that you have as a speaker is that you have, if you're on someone else's stage, and even if you're on your stage, or if you're doing media and there's a time limit. So you need to
Mhm.
be able to prepare and be able to speak concisely, speak in those sound bites, and speak in a condensed amount of time. So practicing those 3 minute speeches and testing it out with different modalities of speaking and changing your hooks and telling different stories and changing your introductions and your outros and just having fun with it. Look at
Yeah.
it as playing and look in the mirror. Another activity is do your 3 minute speech in the morning after you finish brushing your teeth and look in the mirror and do it. Like, do this for 7 days. It will help you improve and it'll help you improve speaking and it'll help you improve telling stories. And then tell your kids stories, tell your significant other stories, like incorporate storytelling and
Yes.
speaking into your daily life. Also, tell stories on the internet. I mean, there are some
Mhm.
amazing storytellers on TikTok, and that will begin to translate into your speaking and your speeches that you're doing publicly.
Wow, that was loaded. So I hope everyone listened. She said, of course, the key thing is to practice and then, create a 3 minute talk, which is good because, yes, you need to be able to get your message out concisely, hit the main points, and then practice it. Practice it daily. Like she said in the morning in the mirror, after you brush your teeth, practice that speech and then practice with your family, your friends. Let it be a daily part of what you do and incorporate storytelling because storytelling makes you more relatable. And people want to connect and do business with people that they can relate to. So you want to be memorable. And a lot of times people remember your story. And I believe you should activate the five senses. And that story be very descriptive. Make sure you're giving as many, words and clues that are, make them actually paint the picture in their head. So you want this to be a very detailed and enjoyable story. So yeah, these are tips that you can use and you can start implementing today. And I hope you didn't let that main thing she say go over your head. Get a coach. A lot of times we think we can do stuff by ourselves, but let's be honest. If we could have gotten it done, it would have been done already. So a lot of us need that accountability. We need somebody to kind of hold our hands or kind of come alongside with us to hold us accountable to the goals and the dreams that we have. So yes, if you want to help build your brand, then Dr. Sade Adu is the person to come to. She's a brand strategist. She can help you with your brand. If you want to get better in public speaking, well, guess what? I can help you. I have my Model Speakers Academy right now that can help you craft your story. So if you don't even have a message yet, that's okay. I can help you develop that story through the model framework. So there's help available, but you got to be willing to take that chance to make it happen. You don't have to wait to 2025. You don't have to wait till next year. You can make a new resolution, a new idea happen right now. So stop putting that time off. Stop lying to yourself because we tell ourselves lies or tell ourselves stories. Oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it done. But nothing changes. So let today be the day where you decide, I'm going to make it happen. So thank you so much for coming on, Dr. Sade. Can you give us a recap or just kind of tell us what you have going on, how people can stay in contact, how they can follow you, how they can work with you?
Absolutely. So you can stay in contact with me across social media at Hey Dr. Shade. Hey Dr. Shade across social media platforms. We actually have a branding challenge coming up. It starts on Monday. So it's called Build Your Personal Brand Challenge. So profitableonlinebrand.com, profitableonlinebrand.com. It's kind of long, but if you are someone who wants to build your personal brand, we would love to support you and connect with you. But if you know it's time to speak, speaking is a part of building your brand. I want you to make sure you're reaching out to Dr. Samantha to see how you can be a part of the Model Speakers Academy.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for that plug. And definitely, you all need to check out that brand challenge because, like you said, it's starting Monday. And I'm going to have the links attached to this live viewing. But I hope you all enjoyed this lunchtime chat. I know it's about time to get back to work, but definitely, I hope these public speaking and business talks have been really giving you some tidbits and introducing you to some people that you can work with in real time to better yourself. So definitely thanks for tuning in. And I have one more great talk happening today at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you don't want to miss it. So stay tuned and review all these messages and make sure you contact Dr. Sade for branding. And if you need some help with that speech or getting to the next level with your speaking, you want to enroll in the free webinar for the Model Speakers Academy.